One boy, 10 girls, wouldn't trade it for the world. That's right, we're talking about The Loud House. The fan-favorite show on Nickelodeon is filled with hilarious and epic sibling adventures. And surprisingly, a number of jokes that are pretty risque for the show's young demographic. Come in, Clyde. This is Haylizbeth with Channel Frederator, and let's commence Operation Dirty Jokes You Missed in The Loud House. Girls Interrupted. Loud House creator Chris Savino and his team love to sneak in moments where the loud kids almost say things that would make their parents blush. Like in the episode Intense Debate from Season 1, where Lola is frustrated with Lincoln for not making a decision about their upcoming vacation. Her short temper gets the best of her, and she shouts, "Why, you little!" Lori covers her mouth before she could finish the colorful thought. Or in Butterfly Effect, when Lincoln imagines a chaotic series of events that could unfold after he spills Lisa's chemicals. Luna describes a song about how the family is on a highway to, but gets distracted, ending the sentence with a more appropriate hello. Luna almost swears again in a song from the Christmas episode, 11 Louds A-Leapin', with the verse, "I wrote it down on my Christmas list. If I don't get my presents, I'm gonna be," well, conveniently interrupted by Mr. Grouse. There are more, but the list is too long with all of them. Oh. Just assume someone would cut me off there. Innuendo. Loud House fans can also tell you that the writers love to hide some of the show's dirtier jokes in plain sight. One example lies with Lincoln and his fascination with astronomy. In the episode, A Novel Idea, Lincoln picks up a suction straw at his mom's dentist office and pretends he's an astronaut. "I can see Uranus from here," he reports. And boy, is it gassy. Rude. Then, in the episode Back in Black, Lincoln's friend Rusty comes over to help him finish a model of the solar system. He greets Rusty and asks, "Did you bring Uranus?" To which the redhead replies, "Never leave home without it." That joke would have gotten us some weird looks in science class, at the very least. In the Season 1 episode, A Tale of Two Tables, as Clyde helps Lincoln prep for a shot at dinner at the grown-up table, he turns to a cardboard cutout of Lori and flirts, "Don't worry, baby, I'll share my buns with you." That's a level of sass we did not expect from the kid, to be honest. The show's best innuendo to date is from Space Invader, the episode where Lynn Jr. moves into Lincoln's room after a fight with Lucy. Lincoln is comforting his beloved Bun Bun after she roughs up everything in the room, and Lynn remarks, "I'm noticing a complete lack of balls in this room." Lincoln frowns, and after a noticeable pause, she continues, "No soccer balls, no footballs, no baseballs." Way harsh, Lynn. There's nothing wrong with loving buns. Just ask Clyde. Too close for comfort. We all wish sometimes that we could get along with our siblings and parents as well as the Louds do. But fans might recall that the show also has moments where the family is just a little too close. If you think back to Intense Debate, you might remember the part where Lynn tries to bribe Lincoln with a massage. As she assaults his back, he turns to the camera and stutters out, "This is awkward." We had trouble getting comfortable there too, Lincoln. And Lynn crosses personal boundaries with him a second time in the episode Space Invader, when they share his room and she uses her brother's toothbrush. Ugh, gross. Then we have Lisa Loud, who is a certifiable genius but somehow can't understand that bathrooms are a sacred space. She reveals that she sets up cameras in the siblings' bathroom in the Season 2 episode Lock and Loud. No scientist needs that much data on their subjects. Fans may remember that the Season 2 episode, Health Kicked, involves the two eldest sisters stuck in a very awkward moment with their dad. While hiding under their parents' bed, Lenny and Lori see their dad put on two baggy pants, and also see the pants fall down before turning away with a look of horror. That is literally the last pair of boxers we would ever want to see. Gross outs. Any Loud House fan could tell you that if there is a yucky moment on the show, Lana Loud is probably behind it. Have you ever seen her eat a piece of gum that hasn't already been chewed? But one of Lana's antics on the show is too gross to believe. You may remember the Season 2 episode, Fed Up, where the kids decide to cook dinner for their parents. Lynn Jr. suggests blending protein shakes for the meal, to which Lola retorts, "Your brain's been blended if you think I'm drinking that barf." Then Lana chimes in, "Wait, we can drink barf?" Sure, the kid goes scuba diving in the toilet earlier in the episode, but actually wanting to drink barf? Or for that matter, making the viewers hear the words "drink barf"? Ugh, we're gagging just thinking about it. Surprisingly, a close runner-up in the too foul category is Lisa. In 2 separate episodes, she requires stool samples from her family for her experiments. First, in Health Kicked, she analyzes her parents' number 2s to prove they are out of shape. Then she asks for samples from her siblings in the name of security and Lock and Loud. Imagine what potty training was like for this kid. Dark humor. Lucy is the queen of doom and gloom in the Loud House, but we think even she would be surprised how dark a few jokes in the show are. The whole premise of the season 1 episode, Ties That Bind, is pretty cynical. The kids overhear their parents talking in the bathroom and become convinced that Rita and Lynn Sr. want to get rid of them. In particular, Lincoln eavesdrops on one line that stands out. Lincoln thinks his dad is referring to him when Lynn Sr. says, "You know, I'm not even sure it's mine." Even though it was a misunderstanding and he was talking about a tie, that's bleak. The next dark joke, again, comes at Lincoln's expense. This time coming from Lisa. Wow, she's on this list more than we would have guessed. During the episode, Intense Debate, she tricks Lincoln into applying what he thinks is sunscreen to his face by placing a fake label on the bottle of a chemical called sodium hydrochlorite. We looked it up. That's concentrated bleach. Lincoln gets a red rash, but in real life, rubbing that all over your skin could seriously burn or poison you. The kicker is, Lisa is smart enough to know that. Stop trying to make Chlorry happen. Any Loud House fan could tell you that Lincoln's bestie, Clyde, is head over heels in love with Lori. He finds a way to bring it up in pretty much every conversation the boys have, passes out, gets nosebleeds, or acts like a robot when he sees her in person. What we find disturbing about this crush is the number of times that Lori seems to reciprocate the affection. The thing to remember with these two is that Lori is 17 while Clyde is 11. What would you think of a cartoon where a Hogwarts 7th year flirted with a 1st year? So at the end of the Christmas episode, Lori, unprompted, walks up to Clyde, points out that he's standing under a mistletoe, and gives him a kiss on the cheek. That teasing is probably messing with his head and fueling his affection toward her. Don't even get us started on the episode Change of Heart, where Lori thinks Clyde has a crush on Lenny instead and tries to win him back. At one point, her sisters all ask why she even cares about this, and she cannot come up with a reasonable answer. That's because her behavior is crossing a line. Tisk, tisk, Lori. That saga is second only to Affair to Remember, which is the episode where Lori actually takes Clyde on an elaborate date at the county fair to try and make her boyfriend, Bobby, jealous. Call us old-fashioned, but maybe they should just draw the line at poop jokes and leave out the jokes about bringing a child to the tunnel of love. Sex jokes. We may be alone in finding Lori and Clyde's relationship scandalous, but our top spot goes to a way more universal innuendo. The best subtle jokes about sex and anatomy from the show that might just to make you blush. The series actually begins with one of them. In the second half of the show's first episode, Get the Message, Lincoln plays a VR zombie game in which he kills baddies by twerking and thrusting. We see him kill a lot of zombies. Quite the character introduction. The adults on the show take part in some frisky business too, like when Rita and Lynn Sr. get the family kicked out of a resort in the episode Sweet and Sour for sneaking into the pool to skinny dip and fool around. Or when Lincoln's teacher, Mrs. Johnson, tells him in the episode Along Came a Sister that the class's pet tarantula under no circumstances should be let out of his cage. Unlike me this weekend. In the episode Frog Wild, she hastily covers a frog tank in class after a student asks what the two frogs are doing, implying that the amphibians were getting way closer than is appropriate for school. Another 2 outrageous moments come from the episode Ties That Bind. The first is a visual gag. After Lincoln resolves to do something to win over his parents so they don't give him away, he runs off screen to pee, and we hear his fly unzip. The immediate next shot is a splat of yellowish liquid onto some surface, which a couple of seconds later is revealed as pancake batter on a griddle in a new scene. The way it's edited makes it really look like Lincoln peed out pancakes for a second. The last one, and our all-time dirtiest joke from the Loud House, happens a few minutes earlier. Luan is telling jokes with her dummy, Mr. Coconuts, and mocks his delivery by calling it wooden. He turns to scowl at her, and Luan looks surprised, which is important a minute later, when Lenny says that she can't take off her top in front of the puppet. Mr. Coconuts raises his eyebrows, and then Luan covers his eyes. Without the first beat, the joke would be that Lenny is just too dumb to know that Mr. Coconuts isn't real. But now, we're convinced that there's a pervy, sentient puppet on the loose at the Loud House. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Haylizbeth, and those were our dirtiest moments from the Loud House. How did we do? Did we miss any? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to click the bell icon to join the notification squad. We have new videos every day, so you know you want to subscribe to Channel Frederator, your cartoon central on the internet.